Hello everyone. Today's a little bit of a news flash actually. I only found out yesterday that UK charity Wigwam is doing a Zoom call with Jane McLelland. Jane wrote the book How to Starve Cancer, and it's going to be on in the shape of Zoom call this coming Monday. This Monday is the 24th of May 2021. So yeah, if you're lucky you might be able to get on it now if you book, but don't worry if not, because they do record these sessions which are available afterwards on their website, which is well worth a look because there's loads of other brilliant little podcasts like this. Now, before I dive in, can I just say thank you to those of you from last week who very sweetly took the time out to add comments about what they'd like to see more of on my channel. This was meant to be more of a foodie day-to-day actually, but the technological side is taking a little bit more time than I'd hoped for, so I'm going to squeeze it in maybe next week. So thanks very much for all of that, and do stay in touch and let me know whatever else you might have in mind. And whilst you're here, if you haven't done so already, please click subscribe and press the thumbs up and all those other things. And yeah, let's get going. So going back to 2016, when I was given a terminal cancer diagnosis, as you can imagine, I was scouring everything, because when you're told you're going to die, you look for everything. And Jane's work was just starting to bubble up then and appeal to a lot of people who had perhaps been told that chemotherapy and radiotherapy hadn't worked for them. They were stage 4 and there was nothing else that they could do. So she started to get this following of people that were prepared to try out what had been successful for her. Now, Jane has been clear, no evidence of disease, since 2003, I believe it was. She first of all got cervical cancer, which she did the usual chemotherapy and radiotherapy, combining it with all sorts of complementary therapies as well, diet, exercise. And sadly, although she's clear for a little while, things soon came back, and like a lot of people that do those sort of treatments, it created another cancer. In her case, it was leukemia. So both of those two situations, she was dealing with metastatic diagnoses, and she had to be pretty sharp on her feet. Now, Jane was a qualified professional. She'd been working in the NHS as a physiotherapist, I think, for 12 years at that point. So she did have a scientific background. And to be honest, I think you really need to have your wits around you to follow her strategy, because her book is quite scientific. So now her book was called How to Starve Cancer, and she works very closely with the Care Oncology in London. Now, when I first saw what she was doing, I know they were really struggling to stay alive at that point, but over the last 5 years, things have rocketed, and Jane now has a very active Facebook group full of people who have read her book, done all the things that she suggests in the book, and have become clear. For others, they haven't. It works for some. Now, what Jane actually worked out how to do was to starve cancer by combining supplements with off-label drugs. So by off-label drugs, I'm talking about something as simple as aspirin and some statins and other ones that you can get, some of them over the shelf, but some of them you also need a prescription for, which is why people do end up going to Care Oncology to get the prescription. So it's all about blocking the pathways that feed the cancer. And in her case, she's been clear ever since. She's worked out her magic formula, and what she's done is pretty amazing. Now, I haven't had to go down that path. I looked into it just in case I had to. So it's not the only way, but for some people, it was the only way. I'm one of the lucky ones that haven't needed it, but I keep my eyes peeled for everything in the hope that I never will need it. So do have a look at Wigwam. You can see it here. Go to their charity website where you can register. But to be honest, guys, it's probably oversubscribed by the time that you get there. But the good news is it is recorded and you'll be able to watch it later. Now, whilst you're there on Wigwam's website, there's all sorts of forums like this that have been videoed and recorded that you'll be able to look at. and perhaps more importantly even, is next June you might want to register for their event, which has Patricia Peat talking about the new developments in oncology and how it's been combined with integrative support as well. So that one looks interesting. But as per last week's video, I will be doing an interview with the people behind Wigwam who are doing the most amazing things, like these videos and other support groups. So do go and have a look on their site, have a look at Jane's work, also her Facebook group, which is called Jane McLelland Off-Label Drugs for Cancer, and it is one of those more positive groups that again is very active. And yeah, keep your mind open to everything if following my path doesn't work for you, but it does for a lot of people. See you soon.